Opening statements are expected to begin Monday in Donald Trump's hush money criminal trial. A full 12-person jury and 6 alternate jurors were selected over the course of 4 days. The judge now plans to hold a hearing this afternoon to address Trump's criminal history and assess how much prosecutors can ask if he testifies.
As you come on to the page, kindly hit that like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Also turn on your notification bell so you can be notified when I upload the next video. Thank you.
Outside the courthouse, a man lit himself on fire, 2 law enforcement sources confirmed to CNN. Details surrounding the incident are unclear. Police said there are no public safety threats following the incident. No cameras are allowed inside the courtroom. CNN reporters are providing real-time updates from the courthouse. All eyes on the complete jury panel with an unusual makeup. Jury consultant Renato Stable weighed in on the makeup of the jury after the selection process wrapped Friday afternoon. For sure alternates are going to come into play because in a case like this, you're going to lose some of the regular jurors, he told CNN chief legal analyst Laura Coates. Now that jury selection is complete, Stable says lawyers on both sides will be monitoring the jurors' social media posts to make sure they don't comment publicly on the case. The jury also includes at least 2 lawyers, a very unusual move that Stable says is a big gamble. They're going to be leaders in the jury room. The other jurors are going to be looking for them for their legal analysis even though they're not supposed to be instructing on the law. On the defense, I think it's a very bold move. Having people with legal expertise on the jury could pose a risk for either side. It could negatively affect the prosecution by diverting clarifying questions that would otherwise go to the judge, Coates said. But lawyers on the jury could be beneficial to the defense, as they might be able to raise questions about the burden of proof that might otherwise go unasked. 2:28 p.m. ET, April 19, 2024. Here's why gag order violations might not affect Trump that much. From CNN's Eva Rothenberg. Although Donald Trump has been accused by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office of violating his gag order at least 10 times, the consequences for the former president might be minimal, CNN legal analyst Ellie Honig told Kate Bolduan on Friday morning. In a hearing Tuesday, Judge Juan Merchan will have to decide between fining Trump up to $1,000 per violation and imprisoning him for up to 30 days. Trump is not going to care at all about that. He'd gladly pay $1,000 per Truth Social to lash out at Michael Cohen and other witnesses, Honig said. But I think Donald Trump has done the calculation, probably correctly, that there's just no way this judge is going to lock him up for violating the gag order, and certainly not at this point. Honig noted that it's a problem for trial management and courtroom order and could eventually become an issue for Trump as well. Earlier today, Trump said outside the courtroom that the gag order has to come off, telling reporters that he should be allowed to speak. Remember, a gag order was issued by Merchan in late March to stop Trump from making statements about witnesses, jurors, prosecutors, court staff or the family members of prosecutors and court staff. A man lit himself on fire outside of the courthouse where the Trump trial is underway, 2 law enforcement sources confirmed to CNN. The man walked into the park across the street from the courthouse, throwing flyers into the air, a senior law enforcement official told CNN. He then pulled something out of a backpack. It was not immediately clear what the item was, and lit himself on fire, the official said. Investigators are now fanning out to collect the flyers the unknown man threw into the air, another senior law enforcement official. A CNN team on the ground observed one of the flyers. It said, NYU is a mob front, and had various allegations of wrongdoings against the school. At least one person used a fire extinguisher to try to put out the blaze, and an EMT rushed up to the man and tried to render aid, according to CNN's Laura Coates, who narrated the scene unfolding in front of her outside the courthouse. New York Police Department officials will brief the media from the park within the hour. All jurors have been seated for Trump's trial. Here's a recap of the end of jury selection. From CNN's Elise Hammond. The 5 remaining alternate jurors were sworn in Friday, meaning the full jury panel has now been seated in the hush money trial against Donald Trump. There are 12 jurors and 6 alternates who will hear the case against the former president. Opening statements are expected to start Monday. Here's a recap. A group of 22 potential jurors from the most recent panel returned to the courtroom to answer their questionnaires. From there, lawyers from the prosecution and defense each got 25 minutes to ask the potential jurors questions. Prosecutor Susan Hoffinger started her questioning by telling the potential jurors that this case is only about whether the evidence proves Trump is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. She also asked the potential jurors whether they could keep an open mind if former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen testifies. Trump attorney Susan Nichols focused her line of questions on biases toward Trump. You all bring biases, and you particularly bring biases about someone who is as publicly and outspoken as President Trump, she said. Jurors dismissed. 6 potential jurors were excused throughout the questionnaire and questions from the lawyers. The judge then dismissed 3 people for cause. Lawyers used their preemptory strikes to dismiss another 2 potential jurors. Trump in court. The former president watched the alternates' answers very closely as they shared their opinions of him, turning toward the jury box as they responded. The judge said there will be a Sandoval hearing after the lunch break around 3:15 p.m. ET. That routine hearing will address Trump's criminal history and assess how much prosecutors can ask if a defendant testifies. 1:43 p.m. ET, April 19, 2024. Secret Service agent speaking to Trump in the gallery. Former President Donald Trump is standing in the gallery. A Secret Service agent is speaking to him. He glanced over at the press pool as he walked out. Court adjourned for lunch. The court is adjourned for lunch. The judge is expected to hold a Sandoval hearing at 3:15 p.m. ET. This is a common preliminary proceeding that will be used to review Donald Trump's criminal history and assess how much prosecutors can ask if he testifies. 1:42 p.m. ET, April 19, 2024. Judge tells jurors he expects trial to begin Monday. Judge Juan Merchan tells the jurors, "I expect we're going to begin the trial on Monday." Merchan is giving the jurors instructions not to discuss the case with others or research it. There are 18 jurors in total, and we cannot start until all are present each day, Merchan says. 1:39 p.m. ET, April 19, 2024. Alternate jurors sworn in. Jurors are being called up to be sworn in now. The last 5 alternates sworn in include 4 women and 1 man. 1:33 p.m. ET, April 19, 2024. The full jury panel has been selected. A 6th alternate juror has been selected. That means the full panel, 12 jurors and 6 alternates, has now been seated. We have our full panel, the judge said. Full jury panel selected for Trump's historic criminal trial. From CNN's Jeremy Erb, Lauren Del Valle and Kara Scannell in the courthouse. Updated 3:13 p.m. ET, April 19, 2024. What you need to know. Opening statements are expected to begin Monday in Donald Trump's hush money criminal trial. A full 12-person jury and 6 alternate jurors were selected over the course of 4 days. The judge now plans to hold a hearing this afternoon to address Trump's criminal history and assess how much prosecutors can ask if he testifies. No cameras are allowed inside the courtroom. CNN reporters are providing real-time updates from the courthouse. Man who lit himself on fire is in critical condition, police say. From CNN's Elise Hammond. The man who lit himself on fire outside the Manhattan courthouse is in critical condition, police said on Friday. New York Police Department Chief of Department Jeffrey B. Madry said the man is in Cornell Burn Unit. NYPD says there are no public safety threats following courthouse incident. Kaz Daughtry, the New York Police Department Deputy Commissioner of Operations, said on X there are no public safety threats following what police are referring to as an incident outside the courthouse where former President Donald Trump is on trial. Just finished briefing the NYPD with NYPD Chief of Dept and NYPD detectives regarding the incident that occurred at 80 Center Street. At this time there are no public safety threats. Please expect increased traffic congestion in the area as our detectives conduct their investigation, Daughtry said. After throwing pamphlets into the air, the man poured gasoline from multiple containers over the top of his head, another senior law enforcement officer told CNN. The man was carrying 2 large signs, one advertising a Substack and one that said, "Trump is with Biden and they're about to fascist coup us," photos provided by 2 law enforcement officials show. The one advertising the Substack had a driver's license that officials believe belonged to the man taped to the corner. The NYPD is expected to brief news media outside the courthouse shortly. Appeals court is hearing arguments this afternoon on Trump's motion to change venue of trial. A New York appeals court is hearing arguments Friday afternoon over Donald Trump's motion to change venue, according to 2 sources. Last week, Trump had asked the appeals court to stop the trial so they could argue over a change of venue, saying he couldn't get a fair trial in Manhattan. An appellate judge denied the motion. The full panel is hearing Trump's challenge over a change of venue. The hearing comes an hour after jury selection was completed in the criminal trial. A panel of 12 jurors and 6 alternates were seated Friday afternoon. Jury selection began on Monday. All eyes on the complete jury panel with an unusual makeup. From CNN's Eva Rothenberg. Jury consultant Renato Stable weighed in on the makeup of the jury after the selection process wrapped Friday afternoon. For sure alternates are going to come into play because in a case like this, you're going to lose some of the regular jurors, he told CNN chief legal analyst Laura Coates. Now that jury selection is complete, Stable says lawyers on both sides will be monitoring the jurors' social media posts to make sure they don't comment publicly on the case. The jury also includes at least 2 lawyers, a very unusual move that Stable says is a big gamble. They're going to be leaders in the jury room. The other jurors are going to be looking for them for their legal analysis even though they're not supposed to be instructing on the law. On the defense, I think it's a very bold move. A 5th alternate juror has been selected. 1 more alternate juror has been added to the jury. We're up to 5 alternate jurors now. Alternate number 5 said she is married, works for a clothing company and gets her news from Google. Prospective alternate dismissed. The potential alternate juror was dismissed after a review of his social accounts. When referencing a quote in which he called Donald Trump egomaniacal, he said, "It's not too far off base from what he felt at the time." He also said the top image of the Facebook account is his, but then suggests the posts in question are not his. Prosecutors withdrew their opposition to the Trump team's challenge for cause. 1 hour 54 minutes ago. Trump team challenges potential juror over social posts describing former president as the devil. Donald Trump's side is challenging another potential alternate juror over social media posts. As Trump attorney Susan Nichols reads the posts, including one describing Trump's egomaniacal, sociopathic incompetence, and another saying that Trump is the devil, the former president does not appear to react as he's sitting back in his chair. The juror is brought into the room to confirm whether this is his social media account. 1 hour 57 minutes ago. Judge dismisses juror. Too many people worked too hard to get the case this far to see it jeopardized. Judge Juan Merchan dismissed the potential juror Donald Trump's lawyers had challenged, saying it's out of an abundance of caution. Too many people worked too hard to get the case this far to see it jeopardized, he said. Trump's team pointed to photos the potential juror had taken at a 2017 rally when seeking the challenge. Explaining his decision to dismiss the juror, Merchan noted that while the juror described the rally as a women's rally, he also had written a caption that it was a massive anti-Trump rally. Potential juror being challenged says he doesn't remember his social media posts from 2016. The judge is asking the prospective juror Donald Trump's team is challenging about his social media posts from 2016 that were flagged by Trump's side, asking if he remembers the posts. "I don't remember. I guess they're mine," the prospective juror says. The judge showed him pictures from a rally he attended in 2017 where he took pictures of signs in the crowd. One had the caption, "My sentiments exactly." The judge asked him whether he agrees with the signs. Trump attorney Susan Nichols asked him if he considered the rally an anti-Trump rally, and the prospective juror said he thought of it as a women's rights rally. Nichols noted he used the phrase, anti-Trump rally, in his posts.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you for watching.